Return of the Jedi, Return of the King, Aliens 3, Honey, We Shrunk Ourselves. Hey, it's Muju's Magic here, and sometimes magic happens in threes. Sometimes I shrunk myself. Anyway, the reason I bring it up is this is our third installment in the reaction video to the video of Soggy Soup breaking down the allegations of Dogpack404 and allegedly debunking them. I say allegedly because there's still, I don't know. Dogpack had me going there for a while, I'm not going to lie. Soggy Soup is breaking it down, and Dogpack's credibility with me is kind of on thin ice right now. They did, in the last, we talked about one of the lottery claims, that was debunked, for sure. The CP claim, debunked. The way Dawson's approaching things, very questionable. So we're going to go from there. That's where we left off. Let's see what old Soggy has to say.
The worst of all, Dogpack and Rosanna used what they thought was a CP picture as
I guess we're still there.
clickbait for their fucking thumbnail.
They did.
Tested 3 versions of it. You know, just trying to get some more views by putting alleged CP in your quirky thumbnails. Will the allegedly abused child garner more views with a red background
That's
or the pink
so screwed
background? Following their logic, they are now both confirmed pedophiles and should have 100% known that of one another.
He's not wrong.
Dude, I can't. And this video, where they do all this, Dogpack dares to try and invalidate my past accusations that his video IDs he came up with while working at mrbeast were weirding and creeping employees out.
I suggested a video for breast cancer awareness about buying 1,000 boobs. Like, maybe not the most professional way to phrase it, you know, it's a little clickbaity or whatever.
That's how I would say it.
The video is supposed to be paying for vasectomies
That's
and cosmetic surgeries for breast cancer survivors.
That's amazing. That's
What?
wonderful.
With the
Hold on. Why would you pay for a vasectomy for a breast cancer survivor? Did I hear that right? Am I tripping the balls?
weirding and creeping employees out.
Yeah.
Suggested a video for breast cancer awareness about buying 1,000 boobs. Like, maybe not the most
Good idea.
professional way to phrase it, you know, it's a little clickbaity or whatever, but like the actual video is supposed to be paying for vasectomies and cosmetic surgery.
Oh, mastectomies. Mastectomies. Okay. Moving on. That makes a lot more sense. I thought he said vasectomies. And I was like, that is stupid. Breast cancer survivors probably don't need that. Well, there are male breast cancer survivors, mind you, but usually it is unfortunately a female malady for the most part. And save the boobs. I love boobs. Who doesn't love boobs?
Surgeries for breast cancer survivors.
That's amazing. That's
That's
wonderful.
excellent.
With the thumbnail
Excellent
and
call.
title like
That'd be
this.
a great idea for a video. And I like the title.
If this wasn't supposed to be creepy or weird, then why did you make sure to blur the title and thumbnail when showing it on screen? Don't be shy. I still got the sharp version. Oh, was it because 4
Good.
objectified headless pairs of boobs with the mrbeast clickbait face and the title I bought 1,000 boobs wasn't in line with
I hope that's
kind of
real.
weird creep agenda you were trying to push? Yeah.
Oh,
this,
was that not a real
it's
video?
about cancer awareness message.
That would've been
seems more like
dope.
you realizing your manager didn't think that joke objectifying women was funny, and you.
Okay. Well, that's a good time for me to chime in with what I'm going to say about that. Objectifying women is funny. I'm sorry. Take it up with Congress, bro. It's just what it is. It doesn't mean you have to do it all the time. I objectify women. I love women. I treat my wife like she is one of the most amazing things on the planet because, in fact, she is. Not just because she's putting up with me or has lowered her standards enough to be with me, but because I genuinely care and because women are phenomenally cool. So, of course, I'm going to objectify them. I think guitars and guns are cool. I objectify those, too. That doesn't mean I don't care about their feelings. Sometimes I have to sit and talk to my revolver or my rifle and say, hey, 30-30, it's okay. Everything's going to be fine. You matter. And then I embrace it. Give it a good cleaning. Give it a good shine job. Click it a little bit. Just saying. It's not terrible to objectify women. We need to get out of that mindset. It's okay to do it sometimes. Shouldn't be your overall mindset, though. You should definitely cherish and value women. But we got to stop pretending that objectification of women is a mortal sin. It's silly. However,
thumbnail when showing it on screen.
not
Don't
during
be
the mute
shy.
button.
I still got
That's
the
a
sharp version.
horrible sin.
Oh, was it because 4 objectified headless pairs of boobs with the MrBeast clickbait face and the title, I bought 1,000?
I see nothing wrong with that video idea. I think it's
I'm
great.
not a weird creep agenda you were trying to push. Yeah, this.
I would
it's
100% do
about
that if I had the
cancer
money.
awareness
100%.
message. Seems more like you realizing your manager.
But the
didn't
boobs would be
think
people
that
I know.
joke
100%.
Objectifying women was funny, and you're then desperately trying to save your own skin by, you know, using cancer, especially when you also sent in these work IDs such as Baby Battle Royale with assault rifles, or
That's funny.
MrBeast does every drug challenge.
That's
those
not a
are
great
also
idea.
for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Also, didn't you say that MrBeast is mainly targeted toward kids?
Encouraging like
Oh, that's true, yeah.
These people.
Okay, listen.
This was audience
When I said the boob thing, I meant that would be good on a channel that wasn't meant for kids, guys. I'm just saying it was a good marketing. Just to clarify, now that that's said, you know, recalculating in my brain what I'm talking about here. Because again, MrBeast's audience is mostly kids. Mine is not. If I did that, everybody would be like, oh, it's just fucking Moo Juice magic. My wife would be like, yeah, let me pick the boobs. I'd be like, cool. I'd have friends volunteer to put their boobs out there. They'd be covered. It'd be tasteful. Always tasteful. Yeah. But yeah, to clarify, not good on a kid channel. Baby Battle Royale, probably not kid friendly either. Although the image is in my head now, and that's pretty funny.
Man, and his content's only gotten younger.
Now, MrBeast intentionally manipulates these children's vulnerable minds.
What happened to that claim? Look, I expected them at the end of the video to say that it was some twisted.
How are we gonna get the
bent,
babies
but,
to fight?
Nope, they seemed pretty proud of their slanderous content where they admitted to committing multiple alleged federal crimes. So,
they
same
did.
time next week?
That's
but
actually
his collateral
true.
damage doesn't end with allegedly abused children. He also uses old people. For example, he tried using contestant 58 from the ages 1 to 100 video by claiming that he didn't really wink.
In this video, this wink was added in post.
And that number
How?
58 didn't hear number 42 getting out of the booth.
In fact, 58 was actually on the far opposite side of the room from 42, and he just didn't hear him.
And because of that, number
What?
58, a 58-year-old man, was so confused and getting harassed online to the point he felt that he had to make a TikTok about it.
Hey guys, Mr. 58.
Guy's almost 60 years old making TikToks. Move over, Zoomers. Gen X is coming for your booty. Wait, that didn't sound.
Been a while
That didn't
since I
sound right.
posted anything.
It's not what I meant.
Something's really been concerning me a little bit. I've been seeing things on the internet that have said I didn't wink in the MrBeast video 1 to 100. I did wink.
Let's see it. Let's see the wink.
winked A few times, as a matter of fact. The other thing that's been said is I didn't hear 42 say he was stepping out of his queue. Yes, I heard 42 say he was stepping out of his queue. I did it on my own accord to step out with 2 seconds left on the clock. I know of nothing in that video that was staged whatsoever, and I don't know why these rumors.
I don't know anything about
over
this.
The internet that these things didn't happen. Everything that I did in that video, and nothing was edited after the fact. Everybody be good and have a great day.
This is just sad. I actually got mad seeing this old sweet guy get so upset. And what was Dogpack's proof for these claims? Well, I've got to preview the 1 to 100 video once, so now you've got to believe every baseless claim I make around it. Because you're so trustworthy, Dawson. I'd rather believe the sweet old guy who literally was in the video.
Everybody be good and have a great day.
He did it with Mark Bates, a random subscriber contestant.
I subscribed to MrBeast and literally won $1 million.
I do remember this
I literally
conversation.
was in this video right here, and all I did was subscribe. I had no relationship with MrBeast or anything like that. And they flew me down to North Carolina. I live in Cleveland, and changed my life forever. Literally. All I did was subscribe.
Who won $1 million and then made a video after winning that prize, which Dogpack just took a very out of context clip from.
Another example of things slipping through the cracks.
The second thing that I probably would do different is...
Oh my God, Becky. Look at her butt. It's like one of those rap guys' girlfriends. I apologize. I need to run an ad blocker when I do this.
after I won $1 million, after I finally like
That
got
probably
the
helped.
remaining amount in my bank account, I was telling him, I was like, man, I don't want to fail. I don't want to be like how everybody's saying, like I'm gonna run out of money and do all this crazy stuff. I was like, man, Jimmy, please help me. And he said he was gonna help me and we was gonna invest, but yeah, that didn't happen. So. Oh no, he didn't invest for Mark.
Oh wait, what's this clip
Was
right
it his
after
job
which
to
Dogpack
invest?
conveniently didn't put in his video?
Invest, but yeah, that didn't happen. So yeah, and let me do clarify, Jimmy did help me, cause I know, like I said, I know y'all be like, oh, he didn't help him, and he did help me financially, but like giving me money he did give me
That's cool.
funds.
Oh, so Mr. Beast still funded Mark even after winning and spending the $1 million? Okay, apparently they just
That's
had him on a
actually really
monthly
cool,
salary at
Jimmy.
Mr. Beast company without him having.
Are you serious? That is so cool. Dude, no, that is a good thing that Mr. Beast did there. I'm starting to question a lot more than I was before. Look, if Mr. Beast did that, which this fellow said he did, and not just this guy, Dustin, the guy that works for him, but the fellow that was just talking, that won the $1 million and then spent it, squandered it. Let's just be real, that's the term. And he asked for help, and then Mr. Beast turned around and helped him. I don't see why that's evil, especially if you gave him a monthly salary. Nobody's giving me a monthly salary. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with helping him out? I'm confused here. That irritates me. That's bad. That's bad form.
This guy's a victim.
Dawson.
Mark Bate himself was so fucking frustrated from Dogpack using this out of context clip to push his personal agenda that he made 2 more videos speaking out against all of the DMs he was getting from Dogpack's followers.
Channel everywhere. You guys been saying that I'm a victim of Mr. Beast and that he didn't help me. You've been talking about everything. It's not my story, so I really wanted to get up here and tell you guys that Mr. Beast really did come through for me, Jimmy. I love you.
Dogpack doesn't give a shit about who or what he uses or whose life he ruins just to push his own narrative, and it's
What's his
fucking
motivation?
disgusting.
Is he making money? Is he?
And snippets is something that Dogpack does a lot, by the way. He also did it with Mac when Mr. Beast asked him what he was gonna do with the $800,000 he won.
What are you gonna spend the $800,000 on?
I've got 3 friends of mine, childhood friends of mine, and they don't have a lot of money. I'm gonna make sure they don't have to worry about money anymore. I mean, my life's changed now.
Oh wow, he's gonna give it to his 3 less fortunate friends? Well, that is so kind. Let's see what Dawson made of this.
Bathrooms.
What are you gonna spend the $800,000 on?
I mean, my life's changed now.
Yeah, I'm sure that $800,000 is really going to change your life.
Oh, he got that
Yeah.
whole part out to insinuate.
Dog, $800,000. I could pay my house off and buy another house or 2 or
huge
3.
Mansion
Are you
that
serious?
He didn't even have.
Mac started working full-time on the editing team at Mr. Beast. Also, he didn't just move into any
So he got a
house,
job,
he moved
too?
into a $1 million mansion. His 6,000 square foot $1 million mansion comes with a movie theater and 7 bathrooms.
See, I saw the actual property listing, and well, obviously I can't show this, so you've
Yeah.
got to trust me on my word. But the house is
That's
in
a
the
hard
name
one.
of
I'm not gonna
another
lie,
editor
but-
at Mr. Beast, which Mac was sleeping over at because he himself
Oh.
didn't have a house. But
So, and his editor took him in?
The liar? Why are you now picking his side? I don't pick sides, nor do I just lie.
So he got taken in by a guy after getting help or getting money from Mr. Beast, helping his friends or whatever, if he did. If not, who cares? It's his money. But he's staying at a house that somebody let him stay at, and this is turning into a negative thing. I'm starting to really want to have a conversation with Dawson. Talking to people is usually a good way to drag information out of them they normally wouldn't expect to give. There are ways to do that. There are ways to get information out of a person in a conversation without them realizing they're doing it. It's not, I mean, I'm not going to go into the details here. I'm not going to teach you how to do that. I don't, anyway, if you want to learn to do that, go be a detective. They'll teach you how to do that.
blindly hate every person I criticize.
More an
What am
interrogator
I,
for
a
the CIA.
disgruntled employee acting like a toddler? Mac left Iraq after all. And by the way, I've never seen Mac try and use fake CP to push a personal agenda. Also, Dogpack, take that clip from my video out of yours, cause now you're using my content to push your lies.
Over the next 7 days, I'm gonna be giving 1,000 random people that subscribe a free Samsung Galaxy S24.
How is this legal? I don't get it. All you have to do is subscribe to the channel.
All you have to do to enter to win one of these phones is subscribe.
It's a scam. Holy shit.
Isn't that
Except
PewDiePie?
the giveaway was legit. Here you can see old testimonies
I have
from
to ask.
random
Yes, I really have to
subscribers
ask.
who won and got contacted by MrBeast. Also, PewDiePie never bashed that
It-
clip.
it
It's just
is.
another
Okay, I was
example
right.
of Dogpack's manipulative editing. Now, even though we've only touched the tip of the lies of Dogpack iceberg so far, I preemptively want to ask Dawson, why would you knowingly spread all of this disinformation? Now, Dogpack, something you really shouldn't say because it would make you look real dumb, is either
He mentioned the fact that he is not a professional journalist or investigator, just a guy throwing allegations around for other people to properly investigate.
as you did in a desperate
Okay.
attempt to save the little credibility you had left after falsely accusing someone of domestic violence and kicking their dog in your third video. Because this is what you said in your first
the
video,
dog.
which
What
I'm
part was
also
that?
disproving.
And I don't want to put a lot
Trying
of
to
like
remember.
hearsay into this video. You should just believe the receipts that I'm showing you and not what I'm saying.
Well,
I
I
don't-
looked at the receipts, Dawson, and so far they're telling me that you're a lying asshole. And before you try and defend yourself with plausible deniability, I'll just play this clip.
MrBeast knows this, but you know he's a poker player. He likes a little bluffery, a little plausible deniability.
Also, me disproving cheap attempts at slander from this guy doesn't mean I'm defending this guy. I know a lot of people believe in the delusion that defending MrBeast is the safe option.
Yeah, it's
And
not.
I know
It's-
there's people have been living under a rock lately, but defending MrBeast right now is actual career suicide. While regurgitating
Yeah, I don't know
Dogpack's
about
lies is the easy and
defending him
safe
so
way to
much. It's
generate
just I want the
millions of
honesty.
views and hundreds of thousands of dollars. But in my opinion, blindly taking either side should be heavily frowned upon.
Thank
because
you.
There are some very questionable and fucked up decisions MrBeast has made that he needs to be.
That was the other one, the
held
eye
accountable.
surgeries.
And
That
I
was the
get
other one I
that.
wanted to look
However,
at.
do
That was the
effectively
charity one, I think. The
criticize
charity
him,
one I was
hold
talking about.
genuine
That and the
victims,
beach cleanup.
Hold him morally and legally accountable. We must first clear the table of all of the lies that have been spread by Dawson French, aka Dogpack404, such as
Yeah.
the lie of Feastables using child slavery. It takes a single
What?
Google search to
I
find
don't remember
several
that.
public articles.
Oh yeah, because that was the claim was that Mr. Beast would tell these kids to go into stores and do his merchandising for him, and set up his displays for him. That was the claim that Dawson had made, that he had found a way to rig the system so kids would go in and build the displays up for the stores, saving Mr. Beast money, and basically using child labor. That was the claim that Dawson had come up with, which to me just sounds like really smart marketing, if that's what happened.
2023, the same time when they took their slave-free banner off of the Feastables website, they've been in talks
Slave-free
to
is pretty
join Tony
funny.
Chocolonely's Open Chain Ethical Sourcing Initiative, and did so officially from March 2024, which if you don't know, Tony Chocolonely's is a Dutch chocolate brand known for their goal to produce chocolate
Yeah.
as ethically as possible, and one of few companies legitimately doing
It's actually
so.
decent
now
chocolate, too.
Feastables is the first major US-based company who joined them with the goal to actively reduce child labor
Oh,
and
that's
slavery
awesome.
in the chocolate production process.
I didn't know that.
Why they take slave-free banner off of Feastables website?
'Cause it's a-
well, dear Dogpack,
I can tell you why. While I find that shit hilarious, other people are going to find that in super poor taste, especially to something you're marketing toward children, guys. Yeah, it's funny. It reminds me, and I think the idea, I'm just spitballing here. You can ask Mr. Beast if you know him, see if I'm right. When you play Minecraft, there's a little factoid that pops up under the intro banner that has some funny little line. It's like, now, includes more minerals, things like that. I think that's kind of the joke. I think he was going for that aspect, which is really smart marketing because kids love Minecraft. And they would notice that the same way I just noticed it as someone who plays Minecraft occasionally. I wonder if that's where he got the idea from. But I do know why. I think I know why he took it off. Because adding that on there, even though the kid might see it like that, and I would find it funny, a parent might not find that shit funny. And then people would take it like, what? Dogpack has done here and run with it as though it's something true or that they're hiding something, when in reality it's just a fucking funny joke.
Already typing that question up on Twitter, you can literally read the answer on the Tony Chocolonely's website. Why did you make the switch from slave-free to
Or you can do this.
exploitation-free? We've adapted our mission messaging
okay.
to help us express the scope of impact work we do today. When Tony started, we were laser focused on one
So he left
issue
the
in
thing on
Coca-Cola
there.
industry, but as we've grown, our areas of impact have grown too. Our mission statement needs to be inclusive of all the work we do today.
That's
From
awesome.
addressing
There's nothing wrong with that.
multidimensional poverty to remediating child labor and everything in between. Wow!
Okay, so while my idea was funny, it actually is a legalese issue. Okay, that makes more sense. Legalese, for those who don't know, is when you're speaking something in law terms. It's just what it sounds like, legalese.
Took one Google search to not falsely accuse someone of using child slavery? Yes. For the people who don't know, Dogpack did
That's
falsely
dirty
accuse
pool.
someone of DV and AB.
Mr. Beast, Dogpack404, put out his third video, Mr. Beast's Secret CEO, in which he was later proven to have accused an innocent man, James Warren, Mr. Beast's cousin, of domestic violence. He later admitted this on Twitter after his own source disproved him and he looked into it himself, only to find out he accused the wrong guy.
That slanders video is still up, by the way, after more than a month of people begging him to take it down. Disclaimer, he took it down a few days ago, but after almost 2 months and 3.1 million views, you're not getting off the hook that easily, Dawson. And the video of the false CP allegations is also still up. He also made life-ruining allegations against Lokoya Hill, who was the person that made the decision
Those
to
are some
fire
pretty
Dogpack.
big...
Here's an audio clip
Oh!
of the firing interview.
He fired him!
I'm our CEO. Part of my job is...
Okay, I didn't realize Lokoya was the one that fired him. This is a problem. This is a serious problem for Dawson legally. And I mean legally because if that is not okie dokie, artichoke, as I would say to my wife and children in a situation like this, not that this would ever come up in my household, but no one's trying to get back at the COO for firing them. I can't exactly fire my children or my wife. Yeah, no, this is a problem. This is a serious problem because now you're going against your manager, the one who let you go, directly with slander. And it's typed, so I think it's also libel. Slander is verbal, libel is on paper or written. I think digital still counts as libel, but again, let's get a lawyer in the comments to let me know if that's correct or not. Always consult a legal professional. I am not. I'm a hobbyist. It's different.
You're pushing back on everything that we're saying. So what?
Well, because you're trying to fire me, and I want to work at this company.
I'm the CEO of this company. If I'm talking, don't interrupt me.
Yeah, never a good idea.
I'm telling you this is what's happening, and you're telling me that I'm wrong. I am not wrong. I've made the decision. Here, we will take care of.
I appreciate that. Can I please have a second chance?
It's not.
Just, if I'm getting paid, just let me come in and let me try to be coachable. If Hoodie changes his mind, can I? And I've been trying to get to this point of working on Mr. Beast for a long time.
I wonder why he's trying to destroy Lokoya's life.
I think there are other people at the company, if I were to switch departments, that would be very happy to have me. I don't care about the salary.
It's not. No. It's not what happened to you.
Or Doc Scara.
Never in my life have I said I want to keep a job and not worry about the salary. Know your value when you are an employee, but be respectful of your employer. And leave on a good note if they want you to go. If they want you to go and you try to leave on a good note, say, hey, I'm sorry this didn't work out. I would like to keep my job. If there's another avenue, maybe I can switch departments. If it's a temporary pay cut to earn it back up, then maybe, because that could be workable sometimes. But be respectful. Always be respectful to your last employer, and never go to another job bad-mouthing your previous employer. It is not a good look, and it will not get you a job. It does not benefit you to leave on bad terms. If possible, leave on good terms. It's the only way to do it. Every time I was fired from one job in exactly my entire life, and I dumped 10 years or more of my life into that company, learned almost every job at that company. Some people there didn't like me, and that's what it boiled down to. But I made sure that when I left, even though I didn't agree, that I shook the boss's hand and said, hey, I still want to be friends with you. Regardless of whether I agree with you or not, we've developed a friendship over this last decade, and as long as we can still be on good terms, that's what I'm more interested in. Because it was realistically time for me to go anyway. I shouldn't have been at that company that long. I should have left and taken the choice and left a long time prior, and I didn't. And I had gone back after leaving from somewhere else, and it just wasn't a good fit anymore. It wasn't the same environment, And on either side, it wasn't working out. I had lowered my performance, I will admit that. But at the same time, I was lowering my performance to the standard of what my employer was providing me with to do. That said, he's still a great guy. I'm still friends with him. Actually, the house that I bought, I raised my kids in, was a house I rented from his family. His parents built it. He's a wonderful guy. He's a wonderful family. And I have nothing negative to say about him in that respect. And I won't. And I won't do that about any employer. And you never should either. As someone who's been an employer, it just goes both ways. If somebody applied at one of my companies and badmouthed their previous employer, that's the first person on whose resume I'm throwing out.
She's your hiring manager.
Or put a picture of his manager on his psychotic wall for no reason but personal spite. Coincidentally, all three of those people were in the room when Dogpack was
subliminal
fired.
messaging there, huh?
Car, we are still going to reimburse you.
This is the original contract and the original NDA. And
It's like he's just doing all this out of a personal grudge. Yes.
We will lie if we have to. I mean,
of course.
I just try to be honest, I guess.
What is selfless hero? You know, a selfless hero who, whenever he can, mentions that he didn't make these slanderous videos with any personal gain in mind.
That's like the whole point.
See, that was what I was trying to
the
say
video's
is
not
what's
monetized,
his
it's on a new account.
what's his
Wait,
motives?
what do you mean that's the whole point? You didn't say that.
Like, you know, in the description of my video, it says, or in the intro too, it says this is not monetized. Because if it's monetized, then people think I'm just doing it for clout and money.
But you're doing it to expose the truth on woke media.
Exactly.
But you're doing it to expose the truth on woke media.
Exactly.
This is textbook manipulation. Him saying he's not gaining anything out of these videos is extremely deceptive. He gains...
Yeah, he gained a shit ton of followers. His channel is definitely qualifiable for monetization. Mine's not. But I didn't come up with this stuff about Mr. Beast. See, now, this is how discovery works in court. When you provide, and also when the jury starts hearing things. This is where the jury makes their decision, is as the defense and the prosecution comes out with the facts on either side, or the claims, the allegations, things like that, and the evidence is brought forth. That's where minds are swayed, and that's where we're swaying our minds right now. I went from not 100% buying into Dawson's story, but being pretty compelled towards his direction, to now being very doubtful of about the majority of what he said. And as Soggy said prior, that doesn't make Mr. Beast infallible, and it doesn't mean we're standing up for him for everything. But we have to get what is actual versus what is not. And the fact that we have to chisel away so much bullshit to get to the facts is more harm than good. And I said, what is the motive? What is Dawson's motive behind this? Revenge and hatred are very serious motives. And if we're going to approach this objectively, we have to pretend we're in a court of law. Okay? I mean, the court of public opinion is very similar. It can make or break a person's life. You don't want to break someone's life over something they never did. If Dawson is doing this to be spiteful and bitter only, if that is the case, then shame on him, and Mr. Beast's lawyers will probably do something about it. That said, if Mr. Beast is as sympathetic as it sounds like he actually is with some people, maybe it won't go anywhere and Dawson will just have to shut up and fade away into obscurity, which I think Dawson has a struggle with. It's hard for a lot of people to go into the light and be on stage and be known to suddenly obscure it again. It becomes very difficult for people, so they start clinging with it. And that was kind of where I started getting when I was watching the video with him and Rosanna. I think it was on her page, or on her channel, where they were doing the CP claims. I'm not sure. And I don't think I even finished that video. Because after the Ivanka thing, I knew that was BS. Everybody else knew that. There was no way they didn't know that was BS. I think it was shortly after that I tuned out. I'm like, I can't listen. This is not credible. I would say incredible, but it's not the right term. Obviously, it's not credible. It was incredible they thought to do that, in my opinion. And that was why I stopped doing any videos on this until now. So let's continue.
700,000 loyal subscribers, collaborations with huge creators, which he's clearly trying to abuse, and it's all built on lies, deceit, and manipulation. If there is one person who gained anything from all this, it's Dogpack. And purely out of principle, I'm putting a mid-roll ad here. Here Dogpack talks about how MrBeast scammed everyone by having people pay to get their memes sent to the moon, the rocket exploding, and them not offering refunds. First of all, people have shown proof of getting refunds even before the failed launch, just because it took longer than expected. Second of all, have you thought about a second launch? And as usual, I don't just have to take Dustin's word for it. The news article, which you put in your proof document, literally states the following. However, failure would not mean the end for S Robotic, which is the company MrBeast paid to carry a copy of the hard drive filled with the memes. It's certainly going to have some impact on our relationships and our ability to secure additional missions in the future. S Robotic already has a contract to fly another robotic lunar lander mission for NASA later this year.
There you go.
And this conveniently went unmentioned in your video.
3 years later, the spaceship finally launched, carrying beautiful pictures
And
of the
so it
deceased
did.
loved ones
What's your
to the moon,
point?
where they would be immortalized.
Oh, okay.
It
it didn't.
fucking exploded.
Side note here,
That is pretty
Dogpack
funny,
also
though.
uses another very manipulative tactic where he shows this stinky, dinky scrap metal rocket instantly exploding, which made people believe that MrBeast was really trying to nickel and dime this entire space mission.
Well, he
while
didn't pay for that.
reality,
I mean, he didn't buy the
actual
rocket.
spacecraft carrying the hard drive was a high-quality Vulcan
Yeah, that's
Centaur
an
rocket
actual
made in
rocket
collaboration
with SpaceX,
NASA,
right?
as well as the ULA.
Oh, ULA, that's right. Vulcan is not.
A new era in
There's this
spaceflight
Falcon.
to the moon and beyond.
Stinky dinky rocket. High quality spacecraft carrying the hard drive with memes from MrBeast. Dogpack's manipulation. Reality. But Soggy, what about the insider knowledge he has from working there?
In my opinion, as somebody who worked for MrBeast,
It has been proven time and time again, he only worked there for 20 work days. As a new employee in like a 250
not a lot of time.
to 300 employee company, you're not gonna get much credible insider knowledge in 20 days.
No, that's also probably why they terminated him the way they did, because he's within the 30-day. Most companies have a 30 to 60 day, sometimes a 90-day probationary period of employment, in which they can get rid of you for literally any reason if they don't feel like you're a company fit, or a good fit for the company. So maybe that's what actually happened there. I don't know.
But he also had anonymous text messages from ex-MrBeast employees. Well, see, I have two notes on that.
Anybody
One
can
is
do that.
I feel like anonymous text messages can be used as tangible proof if either you have the receipts to back them up, or you as a person can be trusted to not have faked or manipulated them. Which, I
Yeah,
don't think
that's
we can
not
trust
credible
Dawson on
anymore.
that one. And two, even if those messages are from legitimate ex-MrBeast employees, they're wrong. This text, for example, which Dogpack uses as a foundation for MrBeast rigging his challenges, according to them, after a shift change in the 100 Boys v Girls video, no girls were eliminated when closing off their circles, so it was pretty much rigged. They think? Okay. Love the lack of confidence in their own claims, and the lack of confidence makes sense, because if you simply watch the 100 Girls v Boys video, you can clearly see a girl got eliminated during that part of the challenge. And in this behind the scenes video, you can even see how many cameras they had to make sure the challenge wasn't rigged.
So we could constantly monitor it. This is the kind of stuff we don't normally show. We had to have 6 or 7 people here monitoring every angle, because if they just touch the red line, they're out.
He also used this video as a prime example of MrBeast never using random subscribers, even though multiple people who can be identified by their nameplate can be proven to be random, non-influencer contestants from outside of North Carolina.
they are never random subscribers. If you subscribe, you will not win $1 million.
I subscribed to MrBeast and literally won $1 million.
Oh, that contestant had to get out for her job? I guess you forgot she's your hiring manager. I actually recognize a lot of people in this video, including Jimmy's own girlfriend.
Yeah, Dawson. Because they were filling in for contestants who had COVID at the time. You can see MrBeast's girlfriend publicly talking about this in a podcast from years ago, by the way.
I saw on your Twitter that you were in the video 100 girls versus 100 boys for $500,000.
Yes, that was an accident. On the day, everybody had to go for COVID tests, and a lot of people came, got their COVID tests, and they tested positive.
Oh,
And the
no.
girls somehow ended up with way too little contestants. So I got a call randomly from the studio, and they're like, we need a female.
What, you wanted them to let contestants with COVID participate in the challenge? And in this podcast, she also says that the contestants were informed beforehand
It's a little
that
different.
even if they lost, they'd still receive the $5,000 prize money.
which was
There's
the plot
nothing wrong
twist.
with that.
Even if you leave, you get to keep the $5,000.
Well,
which
that's
makes
phenomenal.
It easier for people to leave the circle.
Yeah.
So the goal was, it was sort of a psychological.
You don't
test
come
to
out a
make
loser.
people
Know that if they left, that they would still win.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was the big plot twist, which I'm a huge fan of.
So not only were you wrong on all accounts, this is probably the worst video you could have possibly tried building your case on, that Mr. Beast challenges are rigged. And then your only other example of this accusation is the "in 10 minutes this room will explode" video.
I'm going to show one more example. This is a real-time video, meaning that time elapses the same in the video as it does in real life. And the timer is clearly added in post.
Okay, this is just getting embarrassing at this point,
well,
but
who
you
cares?
sent me this picture, Dawson, to seem more credible by proving you were on the set of a video. And if you look real closely at the picture that you took, you'll notice that it's the set from the 10-minute video, where you can see that the timer was in fact not added
Yeah,
in
that's
post.
there.
So you could assume that producers might be off camera with remote switches to trigger the flow of water.
Jesus,
Assume
35
my
minutes already?
ass. You didn't assume shit. You're breaking your NDA by spreading confidential info you knew
That
from
is
being on that set.
violation of
And
NDA,
yes,
I'm
I
sure.
do give permission to anyone whose life got damaged by Dawson French to use my video against him in court.
All right, I'm gonna leave that at this, at that. That's cool of this guy to do that. Soggy Cereal. I like this guy. I don't know much about him, but so far I like him. I like the way he's approaching this. I have a feeling he's got some things to say about Mr. Beast of his own that aren't necessarily most flattering, but I'm not going to get into that. I don't know. I do have some questions that I will get into if I decide to again later. I am going to finish watching this video on my own time, and I would prefer if you went on this journey with me now for 3 videos. I greatly appreciate that, but this is this other guy's content, so I want to end it here. We're about an hour into an hour and a half, give or take, you know. So we did the majority of it. I didn't want to sit through the whole thing anyway. Well, I'm going to sit through it regardless off the screen. But I think we've covered pretty much the majority of what I wanted to, or you know, after seeing the first video. Anyway, the first section of the video. All right, so Dawson's credibility is even more stained than it was before I started watching this with me. I would like to talk to the guy. I would like to talk to Dawson. I know I'm never going to get a chance to talk to Mr. Beast about it. It would be interesting. I would gladly. I don't know. And again, I was never a big Mr. Beast guy. Like, I've seen bits and pieces of some of his stuff. I don't have any investment in this outside of making content, you know. And so soup cereal, Jesus. It's a soup sandwich right now. Soggy Cereal. I want to say thank you. I should contact him and say, hey man, I used your stuff. I'm sorry if that bothers you, but I really appreciate what he did. I think this is a good service that he's providing here, because that's what it is. It's content for him, sure, but if he's helping clear an innocent person's name, or at least clearing Jimmy of stuff that he is innocent of, then he's doing a good thing, and that should be promoted. So definitely go watch the rest of his video on his channel. Go finish it. Watch it from the beginning and finish it. That way it can remind you and be fresh on your brain, and maybe you'll pick up something your buddy Moo missed. Because I do miss things from time to time. I'm not perfect. I'm fallible. I'm human. But yeah, so I'm going to finish this, and I'm going to watch a couple other videos that I've seen on my timeline there, or my feed. Timeline, what am I talking about? In my feed. And get a read on what other people have said. Like I said, I'm really interested in saying what some Ordinary Gamers has to say. Mudahar has some really good stuff usually. And I'm going to have to sit through the Asmongold thing. And I looked at the timestamp on the length of his video. I'm like, Jesus, this is going to be the whole video of just Asmongold doing the same thing I'm doing right now. But to a much larger audience with a lot more knowledge of this realm and world. I've only been in the YouTube sphere in a serious capacity, quote unquote, for a couple months now. You know, my paranormal show has been on YouTube for 7 or 8 years now, but that was mostly a podcast, and more recently we're trying to do the YouTube thing with that. But I appreciate you guys hanging out with me through this. It's been a long slog, 3 videos worth. I'll try not to do that ever again if I don't have to. Not because I don't like it, but because time goes on quick, and I know you guys get other stuff to do. There's other content creators out there, and if you're anything like me, you probably watch a lot of different creators. And I can tell you for sure, I appreciate it. I'm sure they all do. But check out Soggy Cereal for sure. I'm gonna go give him a subscribe right now. Not that he needs my help, but I'm interested in what he has to say more. But he definitely deserves it. Definitely deserves the likes and stuff like that. And I'm gonna try to send him a message here and say, hey, hindsight's 2020. I used part of your video in a 3-part series. If that's cool. If not, then I'll probably end up taking it down. Well, if he says it's not, I'll take it down out of respect. But I hope I approach this in a respectable enough manner to him that he wouldn't be bothered by it. I know I wouldn't be bothered if someone used my content in a similar fashion. Because sometimes I have an intelligent thing that I say, here and there. Broken clock's right twice a day, right? I'm not perfect. I'm just this goofy, silly guy. I'm clearly tired. It's been a very long day. I've been up for like 15 hours. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think in the comments below. If you haven't subscribed yet, I do appreciate when you do. I really like your comments, though. I like to see what other people think and have to say. It does me better to have more input from others because I am a person that likes information. I like to know things. I like to read things. Even if I don't necessarily agree with it, I'm not just going to pshaw it. If I read your comment and it's done respectably, then I'll gladly read it and maybe even give you a response. I try to respond when I can. Anyway, I appreciate you guys' time. Moo Juice Magic here, and I love you in the face. I'm going to finish this. I encourage you guys to go over to Soggy Cereal's channel and do the same. All right.